And the winner, with just 3 lifts, one in each category, with a total of 350, Joanne McGee.
Two a.m. fading in the dark, like floating in the ocean. People need the poison. 3 a.m. you just touched my hand and made me lose my focus. I almost didn't notice. And I better know what to do. Who's gonna be the first one to move? I wanna get closer to you.
You're probably rightly thinking, how is Jack eating all of this like fish finger sandwiches and burgers? Well, I'm just tracking calories and being sensible. Because, well, basically this mince is 5% fat, so there's not many calories in that, to be honest, it's just mainly protein. The bagels and the wraps are just carbs, right? And they fit into my calorie. I'm on 300 grams of carbs today as well, don't forget, so this is quite manageable for me. I had scrambled egg and toast for breakfast. So I've had a lot of bread today on a comp prep. When you know, you know. But yeah, if you think you can't eat bread on the diet, you're wrong. However, I will say this. As my calories come down in this prep, which they will, you will notice my food choices change. So I'll be eating things that fill me up for longer, right? So a bagel and a wrap, it's not too bad for society, but generally speaking, rice is like my go-to carb because it fills me up the most. So when I'm on a low-calorie diet, like you might be, then that might be something you need to look at with regards to, you need to eat foods that are going to fill you up rather than foods that look great and taste great, but they're not going to fill you up, so then they're going to leave you feeling hungry, which is not what you want on a diet.
What's going on YouTube? So this weekend I had a crazy weekend and it made me think I'm going to do a video based on balance and how you try and incorporate as much normality into your life as possible when you're doing a competition prep or when you're on like a diet and when you're following a plan, how to incorporate balance to make it a much more sustainable, enjoyable journey, because the last thing you want, like I spoke about before, is to be on a diet for a show or for a diet for fat loss or on any type of diet or any type of like program, right? And you feel like you're stuck in a program and the results are great, but you know full well that there's an end point and there's only so long you can sustain it for. Whereas the idea, what we're trying to strive for, is adherence to a plan that you know full well that it's going to get you results that you can not just keep, but keep improving upon, right? So this is the idea for me of this preparation for a show. It isn't going to be a case of, right, I'm going to get in shape in 12 weeks and I'm going to be like a hermit for 12 weeks. And at the end of that 12-week prep, I'm going to go and binge for 12 weeks because everything I didn't eat for them 12 weeks while I was on a strict diet, I'm going to then eat for the next 12 weeks constantly, which is kind of the relationship most people have who compete with food. And that tends to be the cycle. So they'll be like in season, diet season, and then off season will be a case of just binge and eat and just try and, it's basically a bad relationship with food that gets worse and worse. So I had that last time I did a competition. I didn't want that again, but I wanted to compete again because I wanted the challenge and I wanted to do a YouTube series on it and show people that you can do it in a way that isn't so strict. So anyway, this weekend, what happened this weekend? So Friday was a nice chilled chilled night in, and watched a bit of Power, had some ice cream I think, but everything that I had in that day was just basically fitting into my calorie and macronutrient goals, so which is the case for even when I have like, so this weekend, if you were watching my Instagram story or if you've seen in this vlog, that you'll see that I got really pissed on Saturday night. That didn't really fit my calorie goals, but to be honest, on Saturday I was really busy anyway. So I was out of the house all day. One of my clients was competing and she won a powerlifting competition up the road. It was in Reading, so it's about 2 hours away. So I was out all day, had only 2 meals with me and a protein bar, which luckily Joe bought for me, so I was starving anyway. And she won, so I was on massive high, I was buzzing, and I'm going to do a video on her success this week as well for YouTube, a client spotlight video. But yeah, she won, so I was in a great mood, and it's my mate's birthday, and they were all in the pub from 1 PM, so I had to play catch up. So obviously, last year I didn't even drink a drop of alcohol in the whole prep. I didn't come off plan once. I had a meal plan, and I stuck to it the whole way through. This year, in contrast, in this preparation for a show, I was finding myself at, I think we got back at 5 PM. My mates had been in the pub for 4 hours already. I was supposed to be there 4 hours ago, but obviously I had other plans, so I said I'll meet them out later. I've got 1,000 calories left to eat, so I had a big meal, and I just ensured that I hit my protein for the day, and I left like 400 calories, thinking that would be enough to cover my basis for tonight, because I wasn't going to eat again. I just made sure that I hit my protein goal. My calories were about 400 calories short, and I went out and I drank just vodka, Diet Coke all night, but I probably had about 12 of them and about 48 bombs. So I don't really know what the calories are in there. I'm not really interested either. I just know that I had a really good night. I got pissed. It was my mate's birthday, and I woke up the next day pretty lean. And I woke up this morning at an all-time low weighting. So, and on Sunday I went out for breakfast. I had cake in the afternoon with Elle that I bought her from the Tenfold, which I'll show you in this vlog as well. And I had a roast dinner that I didn't have the whole last 12-week prep that I had. And I was living in my own flat last year, so for the whole prep so far this year I've been living with my dad. And on a Sunday it's like ritual for him to cook a roast dinner, and for like the last 25 years that's what I've had on a Sunday. For them 12 weeks I didn't come to any roast dinners. And while I was away travelling, it's one of the things that I missed a little bit. So a home pledge that I missed was the Sunday roast dinner. So I wasn't going to say, no, I'm not going to have it for 12 weeks now, Doug, because I'm doing a competition. So yeah, I had it. All I said to Sonia, who was making the roast dinner, was to make my potatoes separately, if she could, and cook them in fry-light rather than heaps and heaps of olive oil, which she normally does. So yeah, that was how I did that. I tracked it based on that. So yeah, there's ways to make it work. Like, it doesn't have to be like this anal, rigid approach, which makes it so much more difficult to follow, and it's so much more enjoyable this way. But yeah, you don't need a rigid approach. All you need to do is, so basically your body doesn't know how bro you are and how on it you are. All it knows is physiology, and I'm controlling the things that I know are going to get me leaner every single day. So that is my energy expenditure, my energy input, so my calories in versus my calories out. So all I do is control that, and that ensures that I get leaner, right? So I know I'm fine-tuned with my body now to understand how many calories I need to eat day to day to ensure I see weight loss, okay? So I weigh myself from now, for like 9 weeks out from last week, I've started weighing myself every morning, and throughout the week I'll get an average of my weight, and there's pretty much drops like every 2 or 3 days now, maybe every day. So sometimes there's daily drops, and I just get an idea of what my body's doing based on the energy output that I have that day. So some days my output is higher than others, and my calorie intake is the same every day, okay, to a point. So at the moment my calories are, if you want to write this down just to see the way it progresses throughout my prep, you can, but I'm on 2,600 calories a day, 240 grams of protein, 300 grams of carb, which is quite nice at the minute, and 50 grams of fat. So that's what I have every day. So there's no fluctuation in my diet at the moment. There's no carb cycling, there's no training day, rest day diet like I used to follow. I used to have a higher food intake on my training days and lower on the rest days, and I do that for a lot of clients, but at the moment it's just flatlined for me all week because I'm training most days anyway. So I'm training 6 days a week. 6 days a week, which is a upper body strength session on Monday, lower body strength session on Tuesday, push session on a Wednesday, Thursday is a upper body dynamic session, Friday is a lower body dynamic session, and then Saturday is a pull session. And as well as all of that, I'm playing football sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depends how many times we train. So my expenditure is really high, and also I wear a Fitbit, and from this week I'm going from 12,000 steps a day to 15,000 to drive myself into a bigger deficit. And in that walk I'll just do a podcast, or I'll listen to something extra, because I'm trying to work on doing a bit more learning at the moment, and just getting outside, so I'm enjoying the nice weather. So there'll be no actual direct cardio equipment like a Stairmaster session just yet, just literally walking. And that's something that I control every day as well. So then I'm controlling my food intake, my expenditure, my training sessions, everything's logged, and my weights are going, my strength's going up still. And that'll be the case probably until maybe about a month out, and then it'll probably start to get harder to maintain lifts, and then it'll just be a case of fighting to keep lifts where they're at, to make sure I don't lose any muscle in the last few weeks of prep, which can happen if you're too aggressive. And yeah, and I'll literally just make amendments based on the feedback that I get from my weigh-ins and from my pictures and from my posing videos I'm doing, and I just get to see where I'm at, and then it becomes like a progressive approach. So yeah, I can go for a burger, or I can go for a night out on the piss. There'll be a point where I say that, hang on, I'm going to pull back a little bit, but only if I stop seeing results. So at the moment, I'm coming in at a nice pace. I know I'm going to be ready in time. I'm 8 weeks out from the first show I'm doing. I'm probably going to do one the week after as well, so I'm going to do 2 shows, maybe even 3. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, like, the prep itself isn't a prep. It's so easy. It's just like I'm not even really following a diet. I'm literally just eating what I want, and then every now and then I have to check on my phone, on my FitnessPal, to see if I'm going over on numbers. But largely speaking, all I focus on is calories and protein still. And I tend to eat a high carb diet anyway, so it slots in nicely to the macronutrient goals that I've got set. And that's how simple my prep is at the minute. And there's no reason why your diet, whether it's just fat loss or if you're doing a show as well, or whatever goal you've got set, should be any different. You should be controlling your calories, which is what fat loss is, right? Calories in versus calories out. And then we can control your expenditure by wearing a step counter, and then you get an idea of how active you are, because it is a case of we need to expend more energy than we eat, and that's how you lose body fat. And then your protein intake and your lifting in the gym, and ensure that it's good weight loss and not bad weight loss. But bad weight loss would be muscle loss, good weight loss will be fat loss, okay? And that's the goal. The goal is to keep as much muscle as I can. If anything, it's to build muscle in this as long as I can and throughout this prep, because I went away travelling, so my strength's still doing this, so that's an indicator that my muscle mass will be doing this as well. So yeah, it's good, and I've got it all programmed up on a spreadsheet, and I literally just log it all day by day, and I'm sure I'll show you the spreadsheet at some point during this prep so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And yeah, it doesn't need to be this meal plan, eat the same food every day for 12 weeks, or Stairmaster sessions, or just like bro training. It doesn't have to be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way for a fat loss diet, nor does it have to be that way for a comp prep. It needs to be done in a way that you really enjoy, and that way you can enjoy the process, and you're not going to feel like you have to binge at the end of it, which is what I did last time, and it's what I don't want to do this time. So hopefully you can take something from this and maybe start tracking your steps, or start tracking your calories. And yeah, this is how I make things work. Low battery. And yeah, this is how I'll get my clients to do all their plans as well. So if you want me to oversee this for you, I have got an online coaching program, because a lot of people are asking me, how can I help them? And I'm like, yeah, this is my job. I'm very busy one-to-one, admittedly, so getting on my one-to-one team will be difficult, but by all means ask. But if you want to train with me, I've got an online coaching program, and I'm happy to jump on a Skype call with you, or we can discuss how I can help you. But yeah, if you have any questions on how to make this work for you or on my prep, then by all means please ask, and hopefully you can take something from this video. But yeah, this week I'm going to try and post 3 videos. So we've got a new faster internet speed at home now, so I'm going to test that out. So if there's 3 videos up this week, it's because it's faster. If there's 2, it's because it's not. So yeah, have a great week, and if you have any questions on your diet or training this week, by all means give me a shout. And one last thing, you saw this little book that I was writing in when I was in the Parade tea rooms yesterday, and every Sunday I do like a reflection on the week, and basically in that reflection it'll be, what did I do this week, what are my long-term goals, am I doing things I need to do day by day to ensure that I get to my goal, and then I'll plan my future week based on the actions that I need to take to ensure that I get to my goal. So I've set goals, and obviously they're all around my room now, and I've got goals all over the place, and I guarantee I get to them by doing the things that I need to do. So this book's awesome. So basically I'll plan, I'll give you a little look at today. So that's basically my day today. Like, the whole thing is planned out. Every single hour of my day is planned. I'm quite a anal person like that. In the morning I'll look at this book, and I'll see what I've got planned, which I'll do the night before. I'll plan my day for the next day, and I'll do 3 things I'm grateful for. I'll write down in the corners is gratitude, and then in the evening you do the same thing, and you do your wins for the day and your lessons learned for every single day. So every single day I'm trying to, because every day I make mistakes on some kind of thing or another, some days more than others, and it's easy to make mistakes and not learn from them. So this has helped me a little bit to learn from the mistakes that I make, because yeah, that is what it is when you run a business, and with the job that I do, there's mistakes to be made every day. So this helps me to learn from the mistakes that I make, I guess, and basically stay on track to ensure that I hit the goals that I've got set with my, not just with my business, but with my physique, with my clients that I've got, and everything that I'm trying to work towards. So this book is something that I definitely would recommend. I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the week. So you get a little bit, for the end of the week, I can't really see it, but it says habits or activity, and you rate it out of 10. On a scale 1 to 10, how happy were you with the week and why? What are your 3 big wins for the week? Notes and ideas for next week. Review your goal and assess your progress. Did you spend your time doing the right things? And what was the biggest lesson you learned this week? And when this is like a 13-week book, and you set like a goal for 13 weeks, and then I normally have a week off or a week of like downtime, and then there'll be another 13-week goal. So each 13 week I'm going to try and like maybe do a holiday or something. But there's always something I work towards. It's quite a big goal for 3 months, and I smash it. Hence why this is I'm doing this now because I'm working through my prep. And I've got business goals that I've got set up, and I've smashed it. To be honest, I'm 7 weeks in, with 5 weeks to go, and I've already pretty much beaten my goal. So it shows how incredible these things can be if you put the work in. But it's like anything, right? It's just like any shit diet. It's still going to be a calorie deficit. If you follow it, you're going to get results. So if it motivates you to do more, then it's called Self Journal, Best Self, and I think it's about 20 quid, but it's worth getting. I'm going to order about 5 more because I know that I'm going to use them for the next. Well, I like using them, so it keeps me focused. But yeah, hopefully that will be another tool you can add to your repertoire to get the best results and to get all the things that you want. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, probably Thursday. But yeah, have a good week. Cheers, guys.